All right, welcome to the Manufacturers Network. Here's Lisa.
Hey, it's Lisa Ryan. Welcome to the Manufacturers Network podcast. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest make or break moments in a manufacturing employee's journey, onboarding. I know you've heard the saying, you never get a chance to make a first impression. Well, in manufacturing, that first impression lasts about 90 days. And if you don't get it right, you risk losing good people before they've even found their footing. And what's worse, most onboarding is designed more for compliance than connection. And that, my friends, is the problem we're going to solve today. This episode is brought to you by Grategy, where we help manufacturing leaders create cultures that people want to work in and nobody wants to leave. Through the 6 gears of Grategy, we give leaders practical tools to strengthen their teams and drive results, from onboarding to leadership development to recognition strategies that actually work. You can learn more at lisaryanspeaks.com. So why does onboarding matter? Think about all the time, effort, and money you put into finding the right people. If they don't feel connected from the start, they're not going to stay. And turnover in those first 90 days is one of the most expensive and yet most preventable problems in manufacturing. Because the cost isn't just in recruiting and training, it's in lost productivity, lower morale, and the strain that it puts on your team when they have to cover for someone who's gone. And here's the kicker. People don't leave because the work is too hard. They often leave because they just never felt like they belonged. So let's start with a couple myths. The first one is that onboarding starts on day one. In reality, onboarding starts the moment someone accepts your offer. That T-2 weeks window between their last job and your day one is when they're most vulnerable to other offers. If they hear nothing from you, they may start wondering if they made the right choice. But if they feel welcome and connected before they walk in the door, they're much less likely to take another call. So what are some quick wins before day one? Send as much paperwork as possible ahead of time so they can start with a clean slate. Email a short welcome video from their future team. Ship a box of company swag. I mean, there is no one prouder to wear your company swag than a brand new hire. One client of mine even sends a restaurant gift card for the employee and their spouse to celebrate the new job. Bottom line, don't ghost your people before they start, or they may end up ghosting you. Myth number 2 is that onboarding is an HR function. Yes, HR handles the compliance side, but true onboarding is a company-wide responsibility. Leaders, supervisors, peers, and even the CEO play a part in making that hire feel valued from day one. So what are some of the things we can do to fix it? Number 1, we want to front load the why and not just the what. Make that first day special. Don't bury them in a thick handbook. Instead, take them on a plant tour and introduce them to colleagues. Make sure their workstation is clean and ready. Consider a welcome sign at the reception desk. Offer coffee and bagels or a small breakfast so they can meet people. Start by sharing why your company exists, the difference it makes, and how their work matters. Because purpose is a powerful retention tool. So here's a quick action. At your next orientation, have a senior leader, not HR, spend about 5 minutes telling a story about the company's impact. The next strategy, give them a buddy and a lunch date. The first lunch can set the tone for the entire job. I know any time in my career when I have had lunch with a person during my first week, that person pretty much became my BFF for the rest of the time I was there. So pair the new person with a friendly peer who will eat with them on day one. And you may also want to assign a peer mentor for ongoing guidance, someone they can go to for questions that they may not feel comfortable asking a manager. Quick action is to identify a go-to buddy in each department and make buddy duty part of their role. The next strategy, make the first week personal. Instead of, here's your station, good luck, give them a welcome kit, maybe a shirt, a water bottle, handwritten note. Give them a clear schedule for the week. Introductions to the people that they'll work with. I mean, think about what they'll say to friends at Friday night at the bar. Because they're going to ask, hey, how's the new job going? And that person's going to be like, I don't know, I didn't meet anyone and I spent 2 days doing paperwork. Or that person might say, man, it's great. I met the whole team. The leaders took time to welcome me and I feel like I belong. That's the conversation you want going on with their friends over the weekend. Next strategy, check in early and often. Don't wait until the end of the probationary period to ask how they're doing. By then, it might be too late. Schedule 30, 60, and 90-day check-ins focused on their experience with the organization and not just their performance. Ask, how's it going? What's working well? What's one thing we could change to make your job easier? You may even want to ask them how the interviewing process was. How easy was it to go through the online process? Whatever it was, so that you can continually make the process easier, which is going to help you to find better people who stay with you for the long term. So in our next episode, we're going to talk about recognition that sticks, how to make people feel truly valued in ways that inspire loyalty without breaking the budget or feeling forced. And remember, this show is for you. So tell me your biggest workforce challenge. You can message me on LinkedIn or email me at lisa@grategy.com, and I may even feature your question in a future episode. Thanks for joining me for this episode of the Manufacturers Network. I'm Lisa Ryan, reminding you that culture is not a perk, it's your strongest competitive advantage. I'll see you next time.